keep your faith, so you can win this race. This race called life, yeah, yeah. This race called life. This race called life, yeah, yeah. Race called life. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm grinding 'cause I know that I'm gon' get it. I just gotta have vision, keep faith and be humble. Have some patience with it. I've been A1 since day one, been always on my job. I never been a fake, never had to steal and rob. Cause I do good business, I'm too good with it. And even though I'm on this road, I'm still daddy to my children. You know I do good with them, and don't like being missing. But I hate when my bills are thicker and my pockets get thinner. But I can't stress up on the dumb shit, cause God is gonna make a way. I keep going, keep my faith and my pace, so I can win this race. Win this race called life. This race called life. I'm just trying to win this race called life. This race called life. This race called life, yeah. Race called life. I'm just trying to win this race called life, yeah, yeah, yeah. I keep on running in this race called life, yeah, yeah, yeah. I won't come in last place in life, no. Cause I'm just trying to win this race called life. This race called life. Girl, I just gotta win this race called life. This race called life. Just gotta win this race called life.
Oh, peace to the family, peace to the guys, peace to the earth, peace to the kings, the queens. Assalamu alaikum, grand rising, rise and shine. Um, shout out everybody. What Marty Marr say? What's up? You feel me? WZUP, baby. You know who it is, man. It's your host with the most, A1 in the building. And we got a dope podcast today for you. This one is about, why I make that big like that? One, I'm already having technical difficulties. My shit acting like it's going slow and freezing up on me a little bit. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Drop a 369 if you can hear me on the YouTube, on the Facebook. I'm streaming live on 3 platforms right now. I done upgraded. So you can catch me at Astral Projections 369 on Facebook. I got a Facebook page now. I'm streaming live on there. I'm live on YouTube and I'm live on my personal channel. So, it's lit. Definitely. We about to get into it, man. Have y'all seen what's going on with Epstein, the Maxwell lady, and Bill Gates? Like, have y'all been peeping all this shit? I'm about to go ahead and just straight play the video for y'all.
That
I'll
you
get straight
had a
into
number
it.
of meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, who, when you met him 10 years ago, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution from minors. What did you know about him when you were meeting with him, as you've said yourself, in the hopes of raising money?
I had dinners with him. I regret doing that. He had relationships with people he said, would give to global health, which is a interest I have. Not nearly enough philanthropy goes in that direction. Those meetings were a mistake. They didn't result in what he purported, and I cut them off. That goes back a long time ago now. There's so there's nothing new on that.
It was reported
about
that
to
you
break all this
continued to
shit
meet with
down.
him over several years.
Hold on, you know what? I'm about to go ahead and
was
restart it right
reported-
now, and I'm gonna pause this and break this down as we go along, because this is some fucking straight bullshit. First of all, I want you to pay attention and take note of his body language. Okay, body language says everything. Your body, reacts in a certain pattern, a certain way, and unless you're trained to teach your body how to lie, your body's gonna tell the truth every fucking time. And it's obvious that he's not, trained for these type of situations. If you see him, he's over here going like this, like wringing his hands out, like he's trying to drain them of all the water. When he first gets asked the question about, dude, the first thing he does, if you notice, is he touches his ring finger. He goes straight to his left hand and he starts rubbing his ring finger. Ladies, if any ladies watching this, you already know that's a tell. That's an indication that he straight thought about his wife as soon as, dude was brought up, So watch this again and pay close attention to his body language. Let me hit play. Boom.
that time that you had a number of meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, who, when you met him 10 years ago, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution from minors. What did you know about him when you were meeting with him, as you've said yourself, in the hopes of raising money?
I had dinners with him.
Boom.
You had a number of meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, who, when you met him 10 years ago, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution from minors. What did you know about him when you were meeting with him, as you've said yourself, in the hopes of raising money?
I had dinners with him.
See him touching that ring finger, ladies?
He had relations.
Let me go back a hair. Do you see him as soon as he's asked about Epstein? The first thing he does is he goes and grabs his ring finger. Okay. Now we're just talking body language here. So that meant subconsciously the first thing that his mind went to was his divorce and how this was a major issue for his wife. So this again, I'm gonna play her interview as well, and you're going to see that this is one of the main reasons that she says contributed to her leaving him was his continued relationship with Epstein. And then she leaves it really vague and ominous. I'm gonna play that shit too. This shit gets real creepy. All this shit is real creepy when you start watching this shit and taking the time to actually look at it. And this is why I don't need no Bad Girls Club. I don't need to go watch 007 at the movies. This shit is more interesting than any fake fiction shit that they could put on TV. You know what I'm saying? This is my reality TV. This shit is more exciting. This motherfucker, they killed this motherfucker in a jail, tried to say he committed suicide, and we all know this shit's bogus. I mean, all of a sudden on that day, the camera stopped working. Your guards happened to fall asleep. They removed his cellmate out a day before, just gave him all the conditions to go ahead and pull that off when he was never supposed to be left alone in the first place. So, you know, it's not far-fetched to say that stuff like that happened, especially when this guy has secrets on some of the most elite, you know. I'm not going to say they're elite. I said it like they were actually elite. People who are considered to be elite, the 1%, you know. I don't give them that credit or power. They just happen to be born into some money. You know what I'm saying? That don't make them no better than nobody else. They still put their pant leg on one leg at a time like the rest of us. But with that being said, let me go ahead and let this play. And again, ladies, notice the first thing he does is he grabs his ring finger. That's the tell right there. He's guilty. And I also think his wife left him because, you know, your queen is going to know you. She's been with you over 30 years, Bill. You know, you can't lie to her without her knowing. You know, she see all your little tells, and we don't know you like that. So we got to try to use the psychology of body language to study you and figure out when you lying. And if you look at this video, you're lying all over the place. Go ahead and let this shit play. You can see how wild this man is, man. Self-incriminating himself like the rappers out here.
What did you know about him when you were meeting with him, as you've said yourself, in the hopes of raising money?
You know, I had dinners with him.
Grab that ring finger.
I regret doing that. He had relationships with people he said, you know, would give to global health, which is a interest I have. You know.
Why did he laugh like that? He said, which is, let me go back. And I want you to pay attention to the reason he says he's even meeting with Jeffrey Epstein, because this is important. He says he's meeting with this guy to get money. The richest man in the world is going around trying to get money from motherfuckers. You're the richest man in the world and you need money from other people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Come on. I'm going to go back just a hair.
Doing that. He had relationships with people he said, you know, would give to global health, which is a interest I have.
That's a tell. You hear that laugh?
You know, would give to global health, which is a global health, which is a global health, which is a interest.
Motherfucker sound like Woody Woodpecker, don't he? Come on, man. Look, I'm clouded, but I'm serious though. That's another tell. What the fuck are you laughing for? What the fuck is funny about any of this shit? Why are you chuckling in the middle of your sentences, man? Why are you smiling right now? Look at this weird smirk he has on his face. All of this is weird. And if this isn't weird to you, cool. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping. Let me play it again.
Relationships with people he said, you know, would give to global health, which is a interest I have. You know, not nearly enough philanthropy goes in that direction.
Again, the richest man in the world, and he needs money from other people to do anything. And this is why you keep meeting with somebody who's sex trafficking. And you're trying to say it was because you needed money from him. You know, come on, man. Like, you could have came up with, I mean, I guess maybe you couldn't have come up with anything better than that. And I want you guys to pay attention to how he keeps putting it off on philanthropy. You know, all of these meetings. And, you know, I'm scared of philanthropy if this is where philanthropy will fucking lead you. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and let this shit play. Damn, I ain't even start that shit over.
In the hopes of raising money.
You know, I had dinners with him. I regret doing that. He had relationships with people he said, you know, would give to global health, which is a interest I have. You know, not nearly enough philanthropy goes in that direction. You know, those meetings were a mistake. They didn't result in what he purported, and I cut them off.
Look at him rubbing his hands together. Why is he rubbing his hands together like Dr. Evil? And again, I'm telling you, body language is important, okay? Because before you've even formed the thoughts, your body knows. Your body knows. And this is how lie detector tests actually work. You see what I'm saying? Your body knows before your brain knows what's going on. So he's trying to formulate these lies and sentences, and his body's already giving them all away. Now watch him rub his fingers again together like Dr. Evil. I already showed you the first tell. As soon as she mentioned Jeffrey Epstein, the first thing he did was grab his ring finger. You know, so subconsciously he was thinking about his wife. Let me check this comment out from Adonis Smithers from The Simpsons. Looking at exactly. Damn, that's crazy. Oh, Mr. Burns face ass. That shit crazy. Let me make
result
this
in
big.
what he
Look at him.
reported,
Look at
and
him.
I cut them off. That goes back a long time ago now. So there's nothing new on that.
It was reported that you continue to meet with him over several years.
And
Now,
then
so there's nothing new on that.
nothing new on that. He ends that with "There's nothing new on that," as in, bitch, why are you asking me about this? So that's what he hit her with. That there's nothing new on that. Like, come on, man. Let me let it play again because he says this shit again.
It was reported that you continue to meet with him over several years, and that, in other
see him
words, a
shake
number
his
of
head?
meetings.
Now it's funny
What did you do when you
because
found?
he's not shaking his head no, because he did continue to meet with him over several years. He's shaking his head like, bitch, why are you asking me these questions? Like, bitch, cut it out. Stop. That's why he's shaking his head no like that. Listen to his response. He doesn't say that's false. You know, it's obviously the truth. She knows what she's talking about. She's done her investigate. She's an investigative reporter. She's done her homework and she knows the answers to the questions she's asking. Trust me. Um, how hard she decides to push back on him is one thing. And again, I'm going to show you he's already paid all of these media outlets millions of dollars, you know what I'm saying, for good press. You know, this is why you don't see really any media pushback about Bill Gates at all. The first time we've really seen him in a negative light is recently, you know, with the divorce. Ever since back in the day, you know, he took a pie to the face at one point in time. Something else happened. I think somebody threw an egg at him or, you know, something silly. So he had a couple embarrassing moments and people were trying to dog him. And then he took a, you know, he learned from his great grandfather who, you know, used to buy press and put press out in the newspaper to help sell his products. And, you know, he learned from him. Again, he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. You know, he comes from money. This guy's been rich. You know, look up his family. You know, his family, they're in eugenics, you know, so he's not foreign to any of this shit.
So there's nothing new on that.
It was reported that you continue to meet with him over several years, and that, in other words, a number of meetings. What did you do when you found out about his background?
Well, I've said I regretted having those dinners, and there's absolutely nothing new on that.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking
Here's
at
where it
this?
gets creepy.
Well, he's dead, so in general, you always have to be careful.
Well, he's dead. So she asked him, is there a lesson for people out there about this? And he goes, well, he's dead. So yeah, anybody fucking with Bill Gates, you know, get him out of here, man. That's real ominous, you know. That's not the message that you think that he would be sending, or how you would think how he would respond. You know, this shit is getting real weird. And again, if you watch this shit and you don't think this shit's weird for him to be responding like that, again, you could tell he was caught off guard. He was shaking his head to her like, why are you asking me these questions? He wasn't shaking his head no, because he didn't deny anything that happened. So he just kept, you know, he kept trying to make the point there's nothing new there. So, you know, yeah, it's old. And is there a lesson to be learned? Well, yeah, he's dead. Like, what? Man, that's the weirdest shit ever from this old button up with the sweater on looking motherfucker. You feel me? He put that boy hey, the Beyond Beef Patty, it ain't 80. I feel you, man. Hey, it's a lot of theories out there, man. Some people say Jeffrey Epstein is still alive. I personally don't think he's still alive. I definitely think that they, you know, whacked him and got him up out of here. Who did it? You know, that's a whole nother podcast. You know, that's a lot of conjecture, and that's something we'll never know. You know, and they're never going to get to the bottom of who killed Jeffrey Epstein. I guarantee you. You feel me? I saw a picture of his cellmate. His cellmate was this ex-cop who was in there for a bunch of bodies and trafficking drugs. But you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he did this shit. Like, oh, so they paid him to do it. Like, his cellmate was on some Arnold Schwarzenegger swole shit. I definitely got that feeling, not good energy at all. Yeah, man, this shit is really fucking creepy. And I'm gonna play this one more time for the people who just tapped in, so that way they can go ahead and get a bite. I'm gonna let it play through the whole way without cutting it either, so you can just really see how creepy and eerie this is. Okay, now I want you to pay attention.
Was reported at that time that you had a number of meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, who, when you met him 10 years ago, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution from minors. What did you know about him when you were meeting with him, as you've said yourself, in the hopes of raising money?
You know, I had dinners with him. I regret doing that. He had relationships with people he said, you know, would give to global health, which is a interest I have.
Why you do that? Oh my God, I can't stand that Woody Woodpecker shit he just did. That is like, dude, what the fuck is so funny? Why are you like laughing in the middle of your sentence? We're talking about a dead fucking man who was trafficking kids. What do you think is funny? You see what I'm saying? This shit is so weird. Again, my mic cut off when I was trying to give you the 3 points to pay attention to. The 3 points I want you to pay attention to are when he first starts to respond, he starts fiddling with his ring finger because he knows this is one of the major reasons for his divorce. 2, he does that weird ass Woody Woodpecker laugh. The third thing, he rubs his fingers together like Dr. Evil when he's explaining the one part. And then at the very end, when they ask, is there a lesson in all of this? He responds, well, he's dead. So yeah, these are the fucking 4 eerie ass points that have to do with this video. And if you don't think this is weird, you know, I think there's something weird with you. Let me go ahead and let this play.
Philanthropy goes in that direction. You know, those.
And another major thing, he keeps saying that he was meeting with him to get money. You're the richest man in the world and you need money from other people. Cut the cat.
It was reported at that time that you had a number of meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, who, when you met him 10 years ago, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution from minors. What did you know about him when you were meeting with him, as you've said yourself, in the hopes of raising money?
You know, I had dinners with him.
Ring finger.
I regret doing that. He had relationships with people he said, you know, would give to global health, which is a interest I have. You know, not nearly enough philanthropy goes in that direction. You know, those meetings were a mistake. They didn't result in what he purported, and I cut them off.
And what did Jeffrey Epstein purport that these meetings resulted in? You know, that I really haven't heard that. I'm going to pull up the list so that way you guys can see everybody who was on Jeffrey Epstein's jet. The public deserves to see this shit. You feel me? So Mr. Receipts back again. You know what I'm saying? Every time I come through with a podcast, you know I got receipts for that ass. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be right to do it any other motherfucking way. You feel me? And this shit is this shit is crazy. What did Jeffrey Epstein purport happened? Because you just said they did. None of these meetings turned out to anything that he purported. I didn't know that there were any other stories out there. You know, I just thought your name was on the list and it was kind of weird. So obviously there's still some parts of this story that I'm missing that are probably going to make this shit even weirder than it already fucking seems to me. This motherfucker's guilty. I just read body language. Body language and energy, those are 2 fucking languages I know well. Like, I don't listen to what come out of people's mouth. And when you in the hood, if you learn these languages, you're going to stay alive. You feel me? Because a pair of lips will tell you anything. You got to learn how to read people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and obviously these motherfuckers ain't street smart. You know what I'm saying? So they don't have any CIA training behind them. You know, he's not going to know how to lie. And he does a lot of looking up to the left as well. That's another thing I didn't point out.
You know, that goes back.
Oh, there he goes. Oh, he did it right there.
There's, you know, so there's nothing.
That's
new
up
on
and
that.
to his left, which
It
is
was
all right.
reported that you continued to meet with him over several years, and that, in other words, a number of meetings. What did you do when you found out about his background?
Well, and, you know, I've said I regretted having those dinners, and there's absolutely nothing new on that.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead, so you know, in general, you always have to be careful.
And he's laughing.
And you know, I'm
This is so
very
weird.
proud of what we've done in philanthropy. Very proud of the work of the foundation.
What?
You know,
And then you just
that's what I get up every day and focus on.
wow. Well, is that not fucking creepy to y'all? Everybody fucking put a heart on this video if that shit was creepy to y'all. Put a heart on my shit if that shit was creepy to y'all, man. I'm getting chills over here. I'm getting chills over here watching this shit, man. Watching this man lie to me about a body. Like, man, I know killers, man. I'm from the hood. I know killers in real life, man. I got 3 jail numbers, man. I've been locked up with lifers, man. I know killers, man. This man, look, he knows something about something. I ain't gonna say he did it, but he know something about something, okay? And look at his face. Look at how it ends. Look at this smirk. Look at this smirk, y'all. Cut the cap, man. This shit is crazy, yo. This shit is crazy. And this shit's so crazy, I had to go live 2 times in one day. I usually don't do 2 podcasts in a day like this. I was just live last night at like midnight. I'm back early in the morning for that ass with this shit. Now let's see what his wife talking about, okay?
Gates. Last May, French Gates and Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates stunned the world when they announced.
Let me skip through this a little bit. Oh, the whole video isn't there. Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't end up ripping this whole video for y'all. But this was Melinda Gates. I already see when I try to skip through, it freezes. Or is it going to play? Let me see.
Exclusive interview with billionaire philanthropist Melinda French Gates.
No, it's not going to play. Okay, I apologize. So I don't have that for you. I think it stopped downloading when my computer fucking reset. But she was on there hollering, man. Go look up her interview with Gail. You know Gail exposing everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I was just over here thinking, like, where the fuck is Oprah? You know, Oprah's name is on that list too. You know, she was on the fucking plane, on Epstein's plane. I'm still waiting for this documentary because you love tearing down black men. You know, you did the R. Kelly shit, you did the Michael Jackson shit, but the motherfuckers you kick it with who happen to be pedophiles, you know, speechless about them as long as they got the complexion for the protection. I don't hear anything about Jeffrey Epstein from Oprah. And there was also some cult leader who was molesting people through religion. You know what I'm saying? I think it was through some form of Christianity. And she was kicking it with him and had him on her TV show and all of that. And she's silent about that. You know what I'm saying? But again, she loves tearing down people of her own complexion from her own community. Not to say that we shouldn't highlight anybody doing anything wrong to the females, because we need to protect black women and our black children at all times. But you know what I'm saying? You got to be fair on both sides. Let me go ahead and pull this up too. Hold on, you know I got receipts for that ass, man. And it's crazy that we even see anything negative about Bill Gates, because you know you rarely see them talking about. I mean, you rarely see them shitting on him like this. Again, I didn't even get to really show you the video of his wife going in. The only reason that she got to say the thing she said was because she was another billionaire. But pretty much any negative press about this guy is suppressed, and I'm about to show you guys why. That reporter right there pushing back against him and asking him about Jeffrey Epstein was, you know, as bad as I've really seen it get. You know, he keeps these motherfuckers in his pocket. I'm about to show you that he spent $318 million already keeping, you know, the media, mainstream media, in check. So let me share my screen, slideshow from current slide. Boom. Okay, let me make it big for y'all. Want to see? Can y'all see that? No, you can't. Okay. Hold on. Let me fix this. Okay, here we go. Now y'all should be able to see that. This man is not a doctor. You know, I'm not a doctor either. You see me out here giving mad health advice, but I swear I know more than this guy. Like, even when he talks, he don't even be talking in medical terms. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't just reading these couple books. There's no way for me to explain these things to you without using these terms. These people tell you to trust the science, but then they never show you the science. They just put a scientist up there and he tells you some shit. You guys never actually look at the reports. Every time I do that, though, YouTube start taking my shit down. If you go back and watch my videos on COVID, they still up on my Facebook, though. I am going to try to re-upload them to the Astral Projections 369 page, but we're going to see what happens. What happened to all those young girls that got kidnapped at one of the other schools in Africa? Yeah. It's been a whole bunch of shit going down. I know exactly what you're talking about. Because I've been studying what he's been doing down there, and he's been pushing these vaccines when there's cheaper methods of saving people. And yes, a bunch of people disappeared from this school in Africa, a bunch of girls. Man, it's a lot going on, and this guy's tied to. I'm not gonna say he has his hand in everything, but you're the richest man in the world. Like, what can't you solve? You know, especially when it comes to missing girls. You know, that should be something that you should be right. And if this image doesn't scare you, knowing that this man isn't a doctor, then I'm scared for your thought patterns. You know, you abash the herbalist and the people out here healing people with natural. Oh, you're talking about an Oprah school. Oh, okay. I was gonna say some women did disappear where at this clinic down there. Man, there's so much shit going on. That's yeah. The Oprah school. I'm not sure if you're talking about that cult leader, or was there a school bus that disappeared or something? Man, I think that was like 2 or 3 years ago, what you're talking about. But I remember something about that. And it's crazy with these elites how this shit always comes back to motherfucking, child sex trafficking and shit like that. Like, and it would be crazy to think Oprah has her hand in any of that shit. But again, I'm about to show you her name on this motherfucking list. Before we get into all of that, a brief word from our sponsors. Right now, this is a black owned. Um, my dude came up with this, Brandon X Bell. Go check him out on Facebook right now. You know what I'm saying? You could buy this comic on Amazon. Lycos the Metal Wolf, Ashes of the Congo. Again, we have to support our brilliant black minds out here. Y'all, I got to be real careful. My mic be fucking up and shit. Luckily, I caught that. I'm gonna have to keep checking back. Make sure you go download this though. Lycos, Ashes of the Congo. You can go download this off Amazon right now. We have to support our brilliant black minds. This is a black content creator, my homie. I know him from the Sandbox, Brandon X Bell. You can add him on Facebook right now, and you can download this on Facebook right now. I think it's only like $5.99. I downloaded mine. Again, it's a dope comic. If you don't read comics, download it or purchase the physical copy. Give it to your shorties. Your kids love comics. Um, just a brief word from our sponsors before we get into this. And again, you can go to my website if you need custom clothing, t-shirts, gold teeth, anything. Go to pvoclothingco.com right now. You know what I'm saying? And you can also download my writing journal, Astral Projections writing journal, off of Amazon. I published this. It's just a writing journal for you to document your dreams and or astral projections. You can write them down as soon as you get up in the morning. Uh, I published this on Amazon. Make sure you go ahead and get that. Support, support, support. Okay, now let's go ahead and get into that. Into this. You feel me? I had to go ahead and make sure we try to keep the lights on around this motherfucker. This is the list of people who was on the Lolita Express, Jeffrey Epstein shit. Okay? Let me take this comment off the screen so I'm not blocking none of these names. Some of your favorites, some of your favorite celebrities is on this list. Yeah. It's getting ugly out here. I see John Legend on this motherfucker. What? John Legend? Oh, and his wife is the one who be making all them crazy comments about fucking eating babies and all type of shit online. The little Asian chick. I forgot about that. That's crazy that his name is on this fucking list. Wow. Okay, so a lot of shit is coming together already. You see, I'm already putting two and two together. I didn't go through this list. I'm going through it live here with y'all. We got Adam Perry Lang. I don't know who that is. If y'all recognize any of these names, start talking shit in the comments, and I'm gonna throw y'all comments on the screen. We got Adam Perry Lang, Akon. Akon was on the plane. Come on, Akon. Damn. Alan Dershowitz, Alberta Pinto, Alec Baldwin. Damn, Alec. Okay. Dang, I see we got Barack Obama, we got Ben Affleck, we got Bill Clinton. So we actually have some politicians on here as well, like they said. Um, a lot of these people I don't recognize. Casey Wasserman, I'm not sure who that is. I'm just looking for names that I recognize. Glassstein Maxwell, that's Shorty who just went to jail a couple days ago. I'm probably gonna do a podcast on her coming up soon. I just got to get all my receipts in order before I get on here talking. Again, we got one of my favorite singers, John Legend, on here. We got Jim Carrey. This shit is crazy, man. Jim Carrey. Tell me Jim Carrey went out there playing with kids, man. John Cusack. Yeah, he's already a weird character. John Legend. Yeah, his wife kind of put him out there. I said John Cusack. I was thinking of Kevin Spacey. Or maybe I was thinking of John Cusack. Elizabeth Hudson. Wait, Katy Perry's Elizabeth Hudson? They're the same people. This shit's getting really weird. It's like I'm in the fucking alternate reality, man. They just hit the fucking matrix shift on me. The Bernstein Bears ass shit. No, I fuck this shit. I do that though. I did know them was the same people. Yeah, I'm just looking for a couple more names that I recognize. I'm looking for some big names. Oprah Winfrey. We got Oprah Winfrey on here. Quentin Tarantino. Okay, that's a shocker. That's one I wasn't expecting to see. I haven't even heard that name in a while. Seth Green. That sounds familiar. Isn't he the guy from Badass or the one with McLovin? He's from that movie, right? Sean Carter. Is that Jay-Z? Tell me they don't got Jay-Z on here with his government name thinking he's slick like we ain't gonna know he was on the plane. Tell me that's not Jay-Z's name, Sean Carter, man. I think this is Jay-Z, man. Let's keep it moving. This is crazy. Tom Hanks. I already heard Tom Hanks was hiding when this whole shit first went down. They kept saying that he went overseas, tried to get citizenship somewhere else where fucking pedophilia was legal. That he didn't know what was gonna happen. Wanda Sykes. Okay, I'm not even gonna talk about Shorty. Will Ferrell, Will Smith, and Woody Allen. Well, we already know Will Smith's part of their whole elite program. We saw his whole humiliation ritual go down with Chris Rock and shit. That shit was definitely planned. Again, I digress, but this is the list for y'all, man. Just so that way y'all can see who's on the fucking plane. Let me see what these comments talking about. See if anybody said anything. Cause I didn't know about this shit. Okay, we got this Oprah school up here. But yeah, these motherfuckers is sick, man. Um, Let me get straight into the presentation about this guy. Wrong way, wrong way. Boom. Gates not sharing vaccine formulas with global porter and pandemic. I'm not even gonna get into that. we're gonna go straight here. If you go to Mint Press did this study, right? And they start tracking all of the money that Bill Gates was sending out to the mainstream media. And, you know, and here's the results they came up with. I'm gonna read this to you guys so y'all can just sit back. Don't worry about it. I got you. Let me just make sure my mic working. I should be liking to cut out. Make my screen big. Okay, here we go. Seattle, this is from Mint Press. Revealed. Documents show Bill Gates has given 319 million to media outlets. Okay. You know I'm coming with receipts for that ass, man. Seattle, up until this recent messy divorce, Bill Gates enjoys something of a free pass in corporate media. Generally presented as a kindly nerd who wants to save the world, the Microsoft co-founder was even unironically christened Saint Bill by The Guardian. That's crazy. They call this motherfucker Saint Bill. And look at him. He always got this sweater vest on over the button down. Like, and he does have this whole wholesome look. He's like that nerd that you guys trust next door. But it just turns out that this guy happens to be like one of the most evil superpowers on this planet. Um, Completely destroying the ecosystem. Man, look, I'm not. And what he's trying to do with vaccine. Ooh, I can't even say that word. What he's trying to do with the jibby jab and this whole hot sauce 19 situation. This shit's crazy. Okay, let me keep reading though. While other billionaires, media empires are relatively well known, the extent to which Gates' cash underwrites the modern media landscape is not. After sorting through over 300,000 individual grants, Mint Press can reveal that Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, BMGF, has made over 300 million worth of donations to fund media projects. Okay? And I want you guys to realize that this is important. When you're giving these people this type of money, they're not going to print anything bad about you. Let me keep reading. Recipients of this cash include many of America's most important news outlets, including CNN, NBC, NPR, and you know I got the receipts of every news location and exactly how much money they got. So I'm about to show you all that shit too. Okay. Recipients of this cash may include many of America's most important news outlets, including CNN, NBC, NPR, PBS, and The Atlantic. Gates also sponsors a myriad of influential foreign organizations, including the BBC, The Guardian, the Financial Times, and the Daily Telegraph in the United Kingdom. So this guy has his hands on all of mainstream media, if you guys didn't know. Okay. Let me keep reading. Prominent European newspapers such as Le Monde, France, Der Spiegel, Germany, El País, Spain, as well as big global broadcasters like Al Jazeera. So anybody who's familiar with Al Jazeera as well, and all of these other ones. The Gates Foundation money going towards media programs has been split up into a number of sections presented in descending numerical order and includes a link to the relevant grant on the organization's website. Okay, so I'm about to go ahead and show y'all this. And again, this is straight on mintpress.com. They went ahead and did this study to catch these motherfuckers up. Again, this is all public information, so you know that's how they got their hands on this. They didn't have to steal nobody's emails and none of that shit. Okay. Wow, awards directly to media outlets. So he's got NPR, The Guardian, public radio, PRI. You know, these are this guy literally controls every single media out. PBS again. See, he only gave PBS 500,000. So that's probably why they pushed back on his ass a little bit. You feel me? I'm talking shit. Cause she did ask him questions about Epstein, and that shit was funny to watch him squirm and act like a rat caught in a trap. You feel me? But again, these are just some awards directly to media outlets, okay? Together, these donations total 1,666,000, that big ass number. The money is generally directed towards issues close to the Gates hearts. That's a lot of fucking money, man, to be giving as donations. And you're the richest man in the world, and you still going around supposedly need money from Jeffrey Epstein? I don't think so, man. Or maybe that's how the rich stay rich. They use other people's bread. You know, that's generally how it goes. So I digress. The money is generally directed towards issues close to the Gates' hearts. For example, the 3.6 million CNN grant went towards reporting on gender equality with a particular focus on least developed countries producing journalism on the everyday inequalities endured by women and girls across the world. So, wow, he's having them do articles on gender inequality or gender equality. That's really weird. Okay. While the Texas Tribune received millions to increase public awareness and engagement of education reform issues in Texas, given that bill is one of the charter school's most fervent supporters, a cynic might interpret this as planting pro corporate character school propaganda into the media disguised as objective news reporting. And that's actually exactly what the fuck he's doing. You know, I'm not call me the cynic then, because that's exactly what the fuck I think he's doing. Okay, I think he's planning pro corporate charter school propaganda into the media disguised as objective news reporting, and he's paying these people to do it. He's giving these people $3.6 million, and then they print articles that he sends them. Of course, that's what they're doing. It doesn't take a cynic to think that. Like, that's how businesses are run. And let me come back and make sure my mic working one time. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna be salty if my mic cut off and I'm just over here chopping it. Okay, my mic's still working. I'm still in here. Okay. Again, I don't think it takes a cynic to think that, because I definitely think that. I guess call me cynical. Let me keep reading. And the Gates Foundation has also given nearly 63 million to charities closely aligned with the big media outlets, including nearly 53 million to BBC Media Action, over 9 million to MTV Staying Alive Foundation, and 1 million to the New York Times Neediest Causes Fund. While not specifically funding journalism, donations to the philanthropic arm of a media player should still be noted. See, this is the thing. Like, people don't know that he's giving them all of this money. And it's like, the people are supposed to report that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to make note of it or make some big event of it, so that way you know who's funding them. So that way, when news comes out from them, we're aware of who it's really coming from and the fact that it's not objective. You know what I'm saying? 53 million pays a lot of motherfucking salaries in these corporations. These people aren't going to speak negatively against this man. They're going to keep that money coming. And this is what we mean when we say big corporations are running the government and they're taking control of the media. You feel me? This is why it's so hard to get alternative news, and you need outlets like me on YouTube and Facebook. You need potheads like me to come bring you the fucking news, because nobody's going to read this to you on Fox 8. They're not going to tell you that he's doing all this shit behind your back. You feel me? They're not going to tell you all this shit. So don't worry, kick your feet up, grab your popcorn, roll your blunt. I'm going to read all this to you. You feel me? You ain't got to read, you ain't got to do none of that. I got you today. You feel me? Let's see what these comments talking about. When you're a leader of an agenda, you have to control the narrative and how the output is put out there. Exactly. You have to. And this is, all smoke and mirrors. It's a whole lot of smoke and mirrors going on. And we got to close our eyes and stop trying to see with our two eyes visually, because this is a fucking spiritual war. And that's the only way we going to win this shit and survive this shit. Because you're right, So anybody tuning in and tapped into this right now is definitely on frequency, and I commend you for being in here right now getting this information. Shout out to you right now. Smash that like button. Don't be scared to subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube. I don't get paid till I get 1,000 subscribers. I think I got like 71 right now. I'm cool though. I just need to get 110 times. I'm gonna get there. I'm building. I'm growing. I only been doing this shit like 2 months. And I don't advertise like that, man. I don't like being in people inbox with. I feel like that's begging. Like, I'm not about to beg nobody to listen to my shit. I'm not about to pester y'all and spam y'all with my shit. I'm not about to tag y'all every day in my shit. You know, if you love this shit, you know where to find me because you know what I'm doing. You know when you get on here, you know what I'm doing. You feel me? Are we in a retrograde or something? Because I keep having all type of technical difficulties. Like, what the fuck? I was saying, I commend anybody who's in here getting this knowledge, and I don't spam y'all or be tagging y'all every day in my shit. When you want to come get some knowledge, you know where I'm at, and you know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm consistently doing this shit every day in, day out, because I love this shit. I live for this shit. You know what I'm saying? So again, I salute anybody who on frequency and still tapped in. I'm gonna go ahead and continue breaking this down because I do have things to get to today myself. Okay, the Gates Foundation is also giving nearly 63 million to charities closely aligned with big media outlets, including nearly 53 million to BBC. Okay, I already read all of that. Gates continues to underwrite a wide network of investigative journalism centers as well, totaling just over 38 million, more than half of which has gone to DC based International Center for Journalists to expand and develop African media. So not only does he, man, this guy literally has his hands on all of the media all over the globe. This is scary because it's just really hitting me like how much control this guy has over the content that we get. And it's like, wow, and then, they're even censoring YouTube now. So people like me can't even get up here and really talk freely. You're not going to get it when you go to the TV. You barely getting it. We got to talk in code on here. This shit crazy, man. And it's like, are we really free? You know what I'm saying? When are people going to start questioning, you know what I'm saying, this shit? Since when have the people on the side of censorship ever been on the right side of, you know, ever been right? I can't even get it out today. You got to think about that. You got to ask yourself these questions. They're attacking freedom of speech, and it's cool when they come for somebody you don't like, but what if when they're coming for your champions and your heroes and they trying to censor them? You know what I'm saying? That's why we can't ever make it cool. Freedom of speech is always going to have to be the law of the land. We all have to stick together and band together to fight this censorship shit, y'all. Like, this shit is bigger than Nino Brown. Y'all got to realize this shit. And I keep cussing. I got to stop cussing so much. You be kids watching my shit. But yeah, we got to stop banding together and champion everybody who champion them censoring Donald Trump. You got to remember, this stuff is coming back to bite you right now. You know what I'm saying? And y'all wasn't thinking about that when y'all was cheering that stuff on. But I was. The true libertarians were. A true libertarian believes in everybody's right to believe whatever. I'm a true libertarian. I believe in the KKK's right to not like me because they got that right. You know what I'm saying? Granted, I think what they think is stupid. I don't think we should take their right to be able to think that away, though, because that's when shit gets real, real messy. You feel me? Um, you know what I'm saying? And if you stick to these principles, you know what I'm saying? Everybody should be able to coexist together, even if they don't like each other, because people can agree to disagree. We can always agree to disagree. You feel me? Even I don't like everybody. I don't need everybody to like me. Like Claude Anderson say, man, Dr. Claude Anderson, black people is too focused on who don't like them and who don't. I mean, who like them and who don't. Like, that shit is none of your business. Who care if white people don't like you? What does that have to do with you practicing group economics and building yourself and your community? Focus on that. Because them disliking you from their home has nothing to do with you. Them disliking you on Facebook has nothing to do with you. As long as it's the people that pass these laws, it's these police officers, it's these judges. These are the people that we're concerned with, and whether they like us or not, because these are people who hold power over us. The everyday common average Joe Schmo Caucasian, you know what I'm saying? Who cares if they're racist or not? I could care less what they think about me. You know what I'm saying? They don't pay my bills. That's exactly what I said when they banned President Trump. They had so much hate for him. They didn't even see the truth that he was saying. If they can ban the fucking president, what do you think they can do to us? Exactly. Exactly. I never even thought about it like that. If they could ban the president, what can they do to us? I just knew that he had so much dirt, they had to shut him up. You feel me? Now, hold on, I've been going in. Let me hit this water one time. I just knew he had so much dirt on him, they had to shut him up. They was like, we can't let you out of office. And with all this dirt that you got on everybody and be able to talk willy-nilly. You feel me? But and just like you said, if they can ban the president, what do you think they can do to us? And people didn't realize that, and it was cool. I don't approve of censorship even of my enemy. I want my enemy to be able to vent his frustrations. You feel me? Don't take their line. And here's the thing, censorship on social media, that's the thing. They've privatized these corporations and they need to make them like public utilities. Everybody gets to use them. So that way, it's just like a phone line. You can't cut the KKK phone line because you don't like what they're saying. You feel me? And because it's a public utility. So they need to make Facebook and social media like a public utility, meaning you can't take my page because you don't like what I'm saying. Freedom of speech still applies. Um, it's just getting real messy out here, man. And we got to, this isn't a democracy where you can't even voice your own opinion because he's the president that they couldn't buy out. Exactly. Yeah, you already hip. Facts, Queen. Facts. Um, Yeah, he wasn't owned by anybody. They try to say he was owned by the Russians. We already know that shit is all bogus, man. Anytime you hear them bring up Russia, know that they're trying to cover up some bullshit or get away with something. And they're trying to distract you. And they know that people are easily triggered by the word Russia or Russians. Okay? These are things that we just have to recognize. You know, most people are dumb. And then if you ask a person, what did the Russians do? Why don't you like them? They won't even have a fucking answer for you. They say the dumbest shit. Nobody knows why we're mad at the Russians because it's all they do is give you a bunch of propaganda. They hack the elections by sharing memes. Get the fuck out of here, man. That means I hacked the election because I shared memes too. You see what I'm saying? So when they say, you see how they say silly shit that doesn't make fucking sense? Everybody shares political memes. Who cares if somebody in Russia was sharing political memes? They didn't hack the election. We already know they didn't hack the server or Hillary's emails. You know what I'm saying? That whole thing has been debunked. You feel me? That whole thing is debunked. Anything that goes out over the internet, they can trace and track exactly where it went and who got it. Every fucking message you send and everything. So there wasn't a hack from an outside source. It was a download, an internal download. Um, Yeah, all that's been debunked. So anytime you hear the word Russia, just know they playing you for a damn fool. Nobody meddles in elections worse than us, okay? And the fact that they tried to play the American people like them sharing some memes was, you know what I'm saying, election tampering, just shows you how naive they think you guys are and how little they think you know. They assume that you don't know that they're overseas toppling governments left and right and installing puppet dictators for natural resources because that's real election meddling. Okay, we're professionals at it. You feel me? I'm gonna cut my light off. Hold on, what's that? That's real election meddling. We're professionals at it. Nobody election meddles better than America. Trust me. Fucking trust me. You know what I'm saying? We are the biggest. Yeah, exactly. Nobody election medals better than fucking the American government. Like we created that shit. You feel me? We created from Christopher Columbus. You know what I'm saying? We go in an area, we fuck with we find out who running this shit, and they take some shit over. You feel me? Motherfuckers take some shit over. And I gotta take this call, but what I'm about to take this
At
call
that time,
all time.
that you had a number of meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, who, when you met him 10 years ago, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution from minors. What did you know about him when you were meeting with him, as you've said yourself, in the hopes of raising money?
I had dinners with him. I regret doing that. He had relationships with people he said, would give to global health, which is a interest I have. Not nearly enough philanthropy goes in that direction. Those meetings were a mistake. They didn't result in what he purported, and I cut them off. That goes back a long time ago now. So there's nothing new on that.
It was reported that you continued to meet with him over several years, and that, in other words, a number of meetings. What did you do when you found out about his background?
Well, I've said I regretted having those dinners, and there's absolutely nothing new on that.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead, so in general, you
He's
always
dead.
have to be careful.
Ooh, tell me that's not ominous. She said, "Is there a lesson?" He said, "Well, he's dead." Yeah, nigga. Fuck you mean, bitch? That's the only thing he didn't say. Fuck you mean, bitch? Excuse my language. That's the only thing he didn't say. You feel me? And he's trying like he knows this is the creepiest shit ever, man. And I know killers, and this is how killers act, man. I know some real live killers. This is how they act.
And I'm very proud of what we've done in philanthropy. Very proud of the work of the foundation.
He just starts talking about his buddy.
That's what I get up every day and focus on.
Look at that smile. You said it. That smug ass down frown. How you got a frown and you smiling at the same time? Ooh, you know you entitled. You know you an entitled motherfucker when you could smile and frown at the same motherfucking time. I don't like that. I don't like that. That's what you say. Yeah, he's the fucking in the flesh, because I don't believe in all that in the Christian version, all of that. So yeah, he's the devil in the flesh. He has fallen to the dark side. You feel me? This shit it's getting wild. And if anybody doesn't think this shit is creepy, you're creepy to me. Or maybe you just drinking too much fluoride water and you just lost in the matrix and you can't see the shit for what it is. And the button up in the sweater vest got you. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But man, that motherfucking smug smile, proud of the genocide. Yeah, the hair rubbing. I want to play this shit one more time. Should I play it one more time, man? I felt like I played it too many times. I'm gonna play it one more time. This is the last time I'm gonna play
It
it.
was reported at that time that you
'Cause
had
this
a
shit is
number of
funny.
meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, who, when you met him 10 years ago, he was convicted
Dang,
of soliciting
R.I.P.
prostitution
Jeffrey,
from
man.
minors.
And I don't feel bad for this guy because he was trafficking minors. I'm sorry that he didn't get to expose these motherfuckers before they took him out. I'm sorry he didn't get to expose them before they took him out. Like, he didn't have man, there's got to be a list somewhere or something somewhere, man. See, that's what I've been hearing. I've been hearing he ain't dead. I've been hearing they really didn't kill him. He definitely, I'm not sure if he is, but he looks like he is. He looks reminiscent of one. I hope that wasn't biased or prejudice me saying that. If I looked at him, that would be a decent guess. Decent guess. I've got a lot of Jewish friends, so he looks like one of my friends' uncle. Honestly, he looks just like him. Um, Epstein, my one friend is a Berkowitz. So, and he looks just like my one Berkowitz friend's uncle. So, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He definitely looks Jewish. Yeah, they said he ain't dead. Where you think he at? Where you think he at, man? Where is he hiding? You know what I'm saying? Is he kicking it somewhere? Are they torturing him? Is he still working with these motherfuckers? Um, that's crazy because we'll never know. You know what I'm saying? We'll never know. Nobody's ever going to get to the bottom of this shit. You know, they need to keep an eye on this Maxwell chick. We don't know what's going to happen to her next. You feel me? Gates not explain. Gates not Epstein. Epstein, obviously. Okay. Gates was acting like, oh, I don't know too much about those stereotypes, but I know they get some money. All the other stuff. Oh, maybe the rubbing of the hands and wringing of the hands. I think I did read that in the Peyton Gendron manifesto. I read the whole manifesto on YouTube. You can go check it out on one of my prior podcasts. I broke down the Buffalo shooters whole manifesto and read it and showed it so that way you guys can see everything that was in it. And the shit was actually fucking deep. He had a deep seated hatred towards, you know, these people. I'm gonna call them small hats. I'm not gonna call them the J word. I'm just something I came up with. Um, it's not being rude. It's just the ones that I know they have these hats in the community. That's why the list MIA. You talking about Gates, who had affiliations with these guys and many other wealthy people. He's still on his island. LOL. They definitely bonded him out. LOL. Their version's dead. Oof. It's just so creepy how he laughed at the end. Let me play that laugh
For
again.
you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead. So, in
Every
general,
time he
you
say
always
that
have to
shit
be
like that.
careful.
See, why is he laughing?
And,
See, I don't think he's laughing because he knows he's still alive, though. I hear what you're saying, Queen. I hear what you're saying, and you might be right. You know, I'm not disputing anything you're saying because I don't know nothing about nothing. You know, I'm like G Money and them, and when Nino was running around the table, Saudi. Don't nobody know nothing. I don't know nothing about nothing. I'm trying to figure it out with you. So, you know, I'm on here just as lost as you. I'm trying to put these pieces together. I'm not gonna say just as lost as you because you might know what's going on. Put me on the game. You feel me? And I appreciate you dropping game. This shit is crazy. He's probably on the island chilling, man. Just shit. It just gets crazier and crazier by the day. You know. I wonder what's gonna happen with Glassstein Maxwell. I wonder if I'm pronouncing her name right. He's dead. Sounds like a threat against anyone else with information on him. That's what I thought. Yeah, we in here together because I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that people hopping on here, even trying to add insight to the little bit of insight I got. I really appreciate that. Because this one, you know, and I still got the receipts for people though. I still came with some receipts because I don't like getting out on here without receipts every time. I feel like it gives people something to share with their people. You know what I'm saying? Some people may tap in and I totally uncover something that they may have been trying to figure out for a long time and they just have been looking in the wrong places. You know, you never know what type of conversation receipts spark though. And it usually alleviates the dumb motherfuckers from making comments or arguing with me about the points that I'm trying to present. So let's just straight get into this though. Let's see who else he was giving this money to. Okay, I don't know if y'all can read that. International Center for Journalists, prime time. Okay, these centers, he gave these journalist centers all this money. So these are the people that are still going to school for journalism. He's breaking these people off all this bread. Okay, so that's important. He's getting these people young, brainwashing them young before they even come into the door of journalism. Then they go to a news organization where he's funding the news organization on top of that. You think these people are going to be in line to run their mouth about him? No, absolutely not. Let's keep it moving. The foundation also puts the money to directly train journalists all over the world in the form of scholarships, courses, and workshops. Today, it is possible for an individual to train as a reporter thanks to a Gates Foundation grant, find work at a Gates funded outlet, and to belong to a press association funded by Gates. Anybody see the conflict of interest here? This is a complete conflict of interest. I'm just reading the article. Let me continue reading. This is especially true of journalists working in the fields of health, education, and global development, the ones Gates himself is the most active in and where scrutiny of the billionaire's actions and motives are most necessary. So he dumps the most money to fund journalism, journalists, and the media outlets. And well, in the course, in the fields that he's the most active in, but those are the fields that he needs to be scrutinized the most. Um, so he shouldn't be able to have his hands on media and actively control the board as well. You know, you can't pay the refs. You know, the refs should never be paid by the players. Am I making sense to you? You know, then what happened when we used to have healthy news media who would scrutinize people like him? You know, who would put his feet to the fire and ask the serious, tough questions. You know, now we get people that barely push back, and you know, you see why. And it's the NWO, like she said, like Margarita said. You know, it's the NWO, it's the New World Order, and they just, you know, what's fucking crazy? They gave, like, just like you said, you right again. They gave R. Kelly 30 years. Now, if R. Kelly don't come out with this list, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, they gave her 20 years, R. Kelly 30. I wouldn't have printed a list. I need to hear from the horse's mouth. Yeah, a video or something, because that list, anybody could doctor a list. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, I need a fucking video. And even then, will we really trust that with all these? You see how they got these filters and shit and all this holographic new technology coming out. Like, I feel like these motherfuckers could literally fake a whole alien invasion, let alone, you know, a fucking video of Bill Gates. I mean, excuse me, of Jeffrey Epstein, you know, saying some shit. You funny. You funny for that one, man. It is crazy. 30 years for R. Kelly. I still can't believe it. Like, I can't picture R. Kelly in jail. Something doesn't, and it's, I know somebody who knows this man personally. I'm not about to tear down R. Kelly on here. We've already done enough of that. But I know this man personally. He actually had numerous sex tapes with underage females. The one pissing on that girl was just one of the ones that got released. So he actually was really into that shit. Um, and but it's just still weird seeing him behind bars, because it's like I thought he escaped all that shit, and for that shit to come back and bite him in the ass like that, you know, do we call that justice served? Or, you know, I don't know how to feel about that. You know, there's a lot of black people that are gonna be quick to say, "Don't be tearing down our brothers," and that's not what I'm trying to do. But I'm also righteous and empathetic to the victims too. You feel me? It's not just about R. Kelly. If he was actually victimizing people, I don't know really too much about that whole situation, and I know about the old sex tape and the shit that he beat, but didn't he have a whole bunch of females in the house and wouldn't let him out or some shit like that? I'm like, that's kidnapping. You can't do that. Um, according to the law, you know, you can't move a motherfucker 5 feet in the house. They're gonna say it's kidnapping. You feel me? So just be careful how you move out here. You know, be real careful how you move out here. Shit get real wild. Uh, yeah, and yeah, R. Kelly, man. And that just goes into the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing. And I wish we was. I wish I can get more press about this whole R. Kelly situation, because and more of a backstory about what actually was going on with that shit. But you know what I'm saying? That's neither here nor there. I can't worry about everybody's motherfucking problems. I can only know so much. And honestly, I'd rather be studying microbiology than R. Kelly's case because I really don't care. Okay, let me keep it moving. Yeah, Gates Foundation grants pertaining to the instruction of journalists include John Hopkins University, that's here in Ohio where I'm at. Teachers College, Columbia University, University of California, Berkeley, University in China, Seattle University, Institute for Advanced Journalism Studies, Rhodes University, South Africa. Okay, he's giving a lot of money to a lot of places. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation also pays for a wide range of specific media campaigns around the world. For example, since 2014, it has donated 5.7 million to the Population Foundation of India in order to create dramas that promote sexual and reproductive health with the intent to increase family planning methods in South Asia. Why the F is he worried about anything going on in South Asia? Y'all don't see the problem here? Yeah, this guy needs to be heavily scrutinized, every single one of this guy's actions. This guy has his hands in everything all over the globe, and it is scary. It is fucking scary. Why is he worried about anything going on in South Africa? Is my mic working right now? Okay, it should be. Let me double check. Stop the cam. There we go. Yeah, my mic working. Okay, okay. Yeah, why is he worried about anything going on in South Africa? That shit is creepy to me. It literally just said he put $5.7 million to funding dramas that promote sexual and reproductive health with the intent of increasing family planning methods in South Asia. Why? You're from a small town in America. Why are you worried about the sex life and family planning methods of women in South Asia to the point where what are creating dramas? What is it? What are those plays? Are you creating Broadway musicals, Bill? Like, what are you doing? To the tune of 5.7 million? It must be something that really concerns you. So this shit is scary. This guy we need to keep an eye on this guy. Meanwhile, it allotted over 3.5 million to the Senegalese organization to develop radio shows and online content that would feature health information. Supporters consider this to be helping critically under-influenced media, while opponents might consider it a case of a billionaire using his money to plant his ideas and his opinions into the press. Which that's exactly what this guy is doing. And we have to start looking at this shit for what it is. These people are gonna have to start explaining their behavior around here, like my man Young Pharaoh say. If y'all my mic cut off again. Okay, sorry about that. My mic is back. My mic keep cutting off. Let me double check it real quick. Yo, yo. Okay, I can see the shit moving. There we go. Yeah, well, now as I was just saying before my mic so rudely cut off on me, you feel me? This guy needs to be scrutinized in all areas. Why does he care about the sexual reproduction of women in South Asia? He's from a small town in America. You feel me? And as the article says right here, supporters consider this to be helping critically underfunded media, while opponents might consider it a case of a billionaire using his money to plant his ideas and opinions into the press. And that's exactly what he's doing. I mean, I don't blame him. If I had the money and influence, I probably would do it too. There'd probably be articles about African spirituality on every fucking news channel and every news outlet. You feel me? But do you see how you got to watch people though? When you got people with this type of money, this type of influence, this type of power, we got to keep eyes on these people at all times. Sesame Workshop. I'm not hip to that. Elmo just got the V, by the way. Oh, I know exactly what you're saying. Man, I'm about to, you know what? I'm about to do a podcast on that too. I saw that. I saw that. He definitely got the jibby jab. You feel me? They gave Elmo the jibby jab on a dang on kids cartoon. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to influence the children. Like the shit's heavy, y'all. You know? So you might come home and your little kid run up to you like, Mom, Dad, I want to go get the jibby jab. I'm scared of hot sauce 19. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's passing away. Joe Biden is going to mandate them. Where's my camera at? Why can't I be on the screen? There we go. You know what's funny? I'm about to hook up my new setup today too, because I got a whole new mic. I got a mixer and everything, and I'm still rocking this little call center headphone with the short in it. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's comfortable for me. I be feeling like when I listen to my shit back, my mic be loud as fuck though. Like I could turn it down a little bit. It was on the list of projects he funded, gave them 2 mil. Oh, you saw it on the list? It's funny because I actually saw the video of where Elmo got the shot, the jibby jab shot to fight Hot Sauce 19. Um, and he's trying to convince the little kids that it's safe and they have nothing to be scared of. And it's like they don't understand the science behind this. And stop trying to influence my children. Who are you to be trying to influence my children? Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's dope. It said, yeah, let me go back to that. Sesame Workshop. So Senegalese development. I didn't see specifically it say Sesame Workshop though, but I'm looking on this list to see if it said over here. Anyway, here go media project supported by the Gates Foundation. You know, he's given millions and millions and millions of dollars away. It's way more than 3.18 million, 318 million. You know what I'm saying? So 3.194 million and a lot more. It's funny that everything I say ends up just popping right back up on the screen. I put this presentation together a while ago, so I kind of forgot what was going on. Just I watched that video of him looking all creepy, and I'm like, man, I got to go live about this shit today. You feel me? Got to go live about this shit today. Not that list. Yeah, the other one. This one? Wait, which one? I'm all lost. Okay. Let me read this article though. Added together, these Gates sponsored media projects come to a total of 319.4 million. However, there are clear shortcomings with these non-exhaustive lists, meaning the true figure is undoubtedly far higher. First, it does not count subgrants, money given by recipients to media around the world. And while the Gates Foundation fosters an air of openness about itself, there is actually precious little public information about what happens to the money from each grant, save for a short 1 or 2 sentence description written by the foundation itself on its website. Only donations to press organizations themselves or projects that could be identified from the information on the Gates Foundation's website as media campaigns were counted, meaning that thousands of grants having some media element do not appear on this list. So again, this $319 million that they track is just all that they can really relevantly find. You know what I'm saying? I said it's way more than this. It's way more than this. A case in point is the BMGF's partnership with Viacom CBS, the company that controls CBS News, MTV, VH1, Nickelodeon, and BET. Media reports at the time noted that the Gates Foundation was paying the entertainment giant to insert information and PSAs into its programming, and that Gates had intervened to change storylines in popular shows like ER and Law and Order SVU. So right here, it tells you not only is this guy funding the media, he's literally changing storylines for Law and Order SVU and shows like ER. This is how much control this guy has. Now, at what point does this get scary? You know what I'm saying? And shout out me for getting this information and bringing it to y'all, because a lot of y'all don't even know this shit. A lot of y'all don't know that this guy has this much control. I don't know if y'all can read that, but if you can't, this article is from mintpress.com. Again, you can go to Google right now, type in Mint Press, Bill Gates, $3.18 million to media outlets, and this whole article will come up. You feel me? So, I got the sources for y'all so that way y'all can go and do your own research as well. Hold on one second. Let me hit this water because I'm going in. Woo. Okay, I apologize, y'all. I apologize. So, here it shows that Bill Gates is literally, they're letting this motherfucker have the key to the city, come in and write storylines for shows like ER and Law and Order SVU. So that way he could continue to brainwash you guys through the shit you watch on television. So when they call it television programming, tell live vision, tell lies to your vision, this is what the fuck is going on. Us woke people ain't making this shit up. We got this nigga caught. You feel me? This motherfucker's caught. We caught you, Bill. I didn't catch you. The Mint Press caught you. You feel me? The Mint Press caught you. Now let me go back and let you read that again. This motherfucker, it actually said they letting this motherfucker come in and rewrite storylines for ER and Law and Order SVU. So that way they line up with his bullshit COVID shit. Excuse my language. I shouldn't have said that C word. His hot sauce 19 shit. However, when checking the BMGS grants database, Viacom and CBS are nowhere to be found. Why is that? See how this shit get real crazy, y'all? Let me keep reading. The likely grant in question, totaling over $6 million, merely describing the project as a public engagement campaign aimed at improving high school graduation rates and post-secondary completion rates specifically aimed at parents and students, meaning that it was not counted in the official total. There are surely many more examples like this. For a tax-privileged charity that so very often trumpets the importance of transparency, it's remarkable how intensely secretive the Gates Foundation is about its financial flows. Tim Schwab, one of the few investigative journalists who has scrutinized the tech billionaire, told Mint Press. So, yeah, man, this guy, shout out Tim Schwab on these motherfuckers' heels. I love it. That's what I like to see. You feel me? And don't be scared to donate to that Cash App if you loving the information or you're entertained by anything I'm bringing you today. $ Astral Vibe Tribe. Again, every dollar helps. We got to keep these lights on. This PowerPoint was $100. I'm streaming on 3 platforms live right now. I'm on my A1 page. I'm on the Astral Projections page, and I'm on the YouTube right now. So, I got this little streaming platform. That shit like $50 a month. You know what I'm saying? I already made my money back though, like the first month. Y'all flooded my donation, so I love y'all for that. Actually, I really appreciate y'all. I made like $100 in donations my first month just doing podcasts. Like I was getting a lot of love. You feel me? Then it slowed down. Where y'all at? You feel me? What's going on? Oh, gas went up. That's what happened. Gas just shot through the roof, motherfucker. So getting tight with that little shit. All right, let me keep this shit going. Yeah, so again, it says that this $6 million grant that they gave to CBS and Viacom, it's nowhere to be found on the list. And it's crazy that they're so secretive when they pride themselves supposedly on transparency in every interview. That's what you hear them saying. Also not included are grants aimed at producing articles for academic journals. While these articles are not meant for mass consumption, they regularly form a basis for stories in the mainstream press and help shape narratives around key issues. The Gates Foundation has given far and wide to academic sources, with at least $13.6 million going toward creating content for the prestigious medical journal, The Lancet. I hope I pronounced that right. And of course, even money given to universities for purely research projects eventually ends up in academic journals and ultimately downstream into mass media. Academics are under heavy pressure to print their results in prestigious journals. Publish or perish is the mantra in university departments. Therefore, even these sort of grants have to have an effect on our media. Neither these nor grants funding the printing of books or establishment of websites counted in the total, although they too form are forms of media. So he's just pretty much showing that there's a whole bunch of shit that they don't have access to that's going to push these totals well up. And so, a bunch of more $1 million went to that other shit. Um, in comparison to other tech billionaires, Gates has kept his profile as a media controller relatively low. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos Amazon founder Jeff Bezos's purchase of the Washington Post for 250 million in 2013 was a clear and obvious form of media influence, as was eBay founder Pierre Omidyar's creation of First Look Media, the company that owns The Intercept. Okay, so yeah, Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post. He purchased that in 2000. He purchased that in 2013 for 250 million. For anybody who didn't know that. So when you're reading the Washington Post, you have to remember you're reading Jeff Bezos's work, and he's responsible for that. And anything that coming out of that has his stamp on it. So remember that. Despite flying under the radar, Gates and his companies have amassed considerable influence in the media. We already rely on Microsoft-owned products for communication, i.e., Skype, Hotmail, social media, LinkedIn, and entertainment, Microsoft Xbox. Furthermore, the hardware and software we use to communicate often comes courtesy of the 66-year-old Seattleite. They're talking about Bill Gates right there. He's from a little small town in Seattle. How many people reading this are doing so on a Microsoft Surface or Windows Phone, or doing it so via Windows OS? Not only that, Microsoft owns stakes in media giants such as Comcast and AT&T, and the MS in MSNBC stands for Microsoft. Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know what the MS stood for at MSNBC. Microsoft National Broadcasting Network. Wow. Wow, I didn't know that. That's crazy. If Gates represents a net negative force in world politics, why does he receive such good press? For starters, he makes sizable donations to a host of mainstream corporate media outlets. Yeah, the false generosity of the super wealthy. Why Bill Gates is a menace to society. Nothing's free in this world. You think giving all them millions of dollars and that shit free? That shit ain't free, man. That shit ain't free, man. It's a new world order, man. You feel me? It's a new world order. Where my people say that up here? Margarita said it up here. It's a new world order. It's already taken effect. But I also believe Babylon has already fallen. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know it yet. Babylon has already fallen. The veil has been lifted. Too much truth is out. You know what I'm saying? They got to come up with something quick because what they can't rock everybody back to sleep. So what are they gonna do? We already not celebrating their holidays no more. You know what I'm saying? That's the start of it. We already starting to build our own economic base and build our own businesses and stop trying to go to work for these corporations. We're already starting to turn the news off and tap into alternative news sources like my channel and other YouTube channels. People doing their own research now. The age of information is here. Everybody's got a smartphone in their hand. In 2.2 seconds, you could ask Siri what anything. You know, there's no reason for us not to know what's going on. MSNBC and its websites were founded in 1996 under a partnership between Microsoft and General Electric's NBC unit. Hence the network's naming. Wow, I didn't know that. Thank you. Hey, man, I love when people fucking look up shit and drop facts live in my feed. Like, you can come on my show anytime and do that shit. Please, I really appreciate that shit. I didn't know that shit. I love like random trivia facts and shit like that. Google that shit, copy and paste that shit in my show, the whole show. And if I'm wrong about something, correct me or pop in a correct total or number. You know what I'm saying? Do that shit all the time because I'm all about the receipts. I'm all about the information. I did not know that because I always wondered what the fuck NBC really was. I thought it was National Broadcasting Center or something. I just assumed. I never really looked it up. I was never really too concerned with it, but yeah. So this shit is crazy. This is why you don't hear any negative press about this guy. He has everybody in his pocket, and nothing is free in this world. You know, once you take that money, it's, you know, you bought and paid for it. And the people who are taking this money know this shit when they taking the money. They know they not about to go ahead and take 500,000 from him and then go write bad reviews about the guy and expect to keep getting this funding. Let alone you're probably gonna end up like Epstein. Real talk. And that was a message right there. I think he was sending that message to the lady who was asking him the question. And you know what? Let me go ahead and play this again for the people who just tapped in and anybody that missed this video. I'm gonna play it one more time. And if you caught it 6 times, I apologize. This shit is funny every time. It's funny but sad, but it's funny. You gotta laugh to
It was
keep.
reported at that time that you had a number of meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, who, when you met him 10 years ago, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution from minors. What did you know about him when you were meeting with him, as you've said yourself, in the hopes of raising money?
You know, I had dinners with him. I regret doing that. He had relationships with people he said, you know, would give to global health, which is a interest I have. You know, not nearly enough philanthropy goes in that direction.
Again, I think the shit is all cap. You're the richest man in the world. Why do you need money from other people? But he keeps trying to use this as his excuse for why he was kept going to dinner with Epstein. You know, he wanted to give a bunch of money to philanthropy. And then he hits you with the Woody Woodpecker laugh. That Woody Woodpecker laugh, I do not like that shit. That shit is creepy to me. Super creepy. Let me play it.
Relationships with people he said, you know, would give to global health, which is a interest I have. You
There
know,
you
not
go.
nearly enough philanthropy goes in that direction. You know, those meetings were a mistake. They didn't result in what he purported, and I cut them off. You know, that goes back a long time ago now. There's, you know, so there's nothing new on that.
It was reported that you continued to meet with him over several years, and that, in other words, a number of meetings. What did you do when you found out about his background?
Well, and, you know, I've said I regretted having those dinners, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing new on that.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead, so
He pretty much telling her, bitch, quit asking all these questions for you end up like him. It's like, yeah, well, he's dead. Yeah. And you keep asking all these questions. You feel me? A subsidiary of NBC Universal with both wholly owned and operated by Comcast. Okay. CNBC, formerly Consumer News and Business Channel. Oh, wow. I would have never guessed that. I would have never guessed it was Consumer News and Business Channel. As an American-based basic cable business news channel that is a division of NBC Universal News Group. Okay. Yeah, I did not know Consumer News Business Channel and Business Channel. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Consumer News. I would have never guessed that shit. Yeah, and this guy, let me let this finish to the end. This shit gets really creepy. Well, he's dead. You know, is there a lesson to be learned? Well, he's dead. So you should leave it alone because there's nothing new there. It's pretty much what he
Anyone
tells her.
else looking at this?
well, he's dead. So, you know, in general, you always have to be careful. And you know, I'm very proud of what we've done in philanthropy. Very proud of the work of the foundation.
And he goes back to that.
You know, that's what I get up every day and focus on.
Nobody asked
Was
you
reported
about
that-
philanthropy. She's asking about him. She's asking about Jeffrey Epstein. Like, why does he keep deferring? That's how you know he's lying. He's trying to shift gears, shift the topic, shift the focus. Shift how he's painted while people think about Jeffrey Epstein at the same time. And he's decent, but he's not good at what he does because he should have been coached before he went up there like that. And his wife probably saw that, and that's probably another reason she knows. Like, this motherfucker's lying. I know when he's lying. I guarantee you his wife's wherever the fuck she was at watching that shit and probably threw up watching him. She's like, this motherfucker's a fucking liar. That's not what he was doing there. He doesn't need money from anyone. We have all the money we fucking need. Like, oh man, these motherfuckers is crazy. Okay. Now let me get back to I just had to go ahead and play that again for anybody who just tapped in, man, because that shit is it's crazy every time I watch it, man. And he never looks any better. Like it just gets worse and worse every time I play that shit. You feel me? And don't be scared to smash that like button and share this right now so that way anybody else on your timeline can go ahead and get a bite of this, man. Make sure you spread this information. We passing around knowledge like blunts around here. You feel me? You know, puff, puff, pass on the knowledge. Don't keep it to yourself. Even I don't own this knowledge. That's why I didn't keep it to myself. You know what I'm saying? This is everybody's knowledge. So make sure you go ahead, hit that share button one time for me. Help me out in the algorithm. You feel me? Let me keep reading. Media Gates Keepers. That's funny because it's like gatekeepers and Bill Gates. The Media Gates Keepers. Okay, that's what they're trying to be funny with the triple entendre or whatever. Okay, the Gates Foundation is underwriting a significant chunk of our media ecosystem leads to serious problems with objectivity. The foundation's grants to media organizations raise obvious conflicts of interest questions. How can reporting be unbiased when a major player holds the purse strings? Wrote Gates' local Seattle Times in 2011. This was before the newspaper accepted BMGF's money to fund its education lab section. So right before they wrote that, this you see how this shit gets crazy, and I guarantee you they never wrote nothing else about them. Let's keep reading. Schwab's research has found that this conflict of interest goes right to the very top. Two New York Times columnist has been writing glowingly about the Gates Foundation for years without disclosing that they also work for a group, the Solutions Journalism Network, that as shown above has received over 7 million from the tech billionaires charities. Okay, so two top New York Times columnists who keep writing glowingly about Bill Gates and his foundations are part of a fucking network that gets 7 million from them probably on a annually. I wouldn't be surprised. You see what I'm saying? And you see how this shit can be a conflict of interest while the average person is out here trying to get decent information about hot sauce 19 and the jibby jab, you know? And you wonder why we can't get any truth. And you wonder why it's so hard to get any truth when it comes to trying to get any information about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? You're getting censored left and right. There's only one source that's really allowed to talk about it. And that's, Fox 8, Channel 3, Channel 5. Like, if you're not getting it from them, they don't want you having your own opinions. They don't want us looking at the research and coming up to our own conclusions. They've literally taken down all of my videos on Hot Sauce 19 from YouTube. I think all of them that I still have are on Facebook. Facebook left like one of them up. They had me on restriction for a week last week. I just got off restriction like 2 days ago. You feel me? That's why y'all ain't seen me on here. You know what I'm saying? Slow my whole little momentum down because my followers was going up at a steady rate. Not to worry though, because we back in full effect though. So let me go ahead and finish reading this article and getting this news to y'all. Earlier this year, Schwab also declined to co-report on a story about Kovacs for the Bureau of the Investigative Journalism, suspecting that the money Gates had been pumping into the outlet would make it impossible to accurately report on a subject so close to Gates's heart. Sure enough, when the article was published last month, it repeated the assertion that Gates had little to do with Kovacs's failure, mirroring the BMGF stance and quoting them throughout. Only at the very end of the more than 5,000 word story did it reveal that the organization it was defending was paying the wages of its staff. Wow. So at the end of the article, he admitted though that, hey, these motherfuckers are paying us, so I can't really tell you the truth about this shit. It says, I don't believe Gates told the Bureau of Investigative Journalism what to write. I think the Bureau implicitly, if subconsciously, knew that they had to find a way to tell this story that didn't target their funder. The biased effects of financial conflicts are a complex but very real and reliable, Schwab said, describing it as a case study in the perils of Gates funded journalism. Mint Press also contacted the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for comment, but it did not respond. Gates, who amassed his fortune by building a monopoly of zealously guarding his intellectual property, bears significant blame for the failure of the Hot Sauce 19 jibby jab rollout across the world. Quite aside from the COVAX fiasco, he pressured Oxford University not to make its publicly funded jibby jab open source and available to all for free. And that was actually the very first slide that I used. These people were trying to give the jibby jab recipe away so that way everybody could have it. And he's like, no, if you do that, I won't be able to make money off of it. So Gates says no to sharing the jibby jab formula with global poor to end pandemic. He said, hell no. Hell the fuck no. He talked them out of it and made them sell the shit. You feel me? For profit. So this is how much this guy really cares about y'all. I'm just, just so y'all know. Please let my sound be working. Okay, my sound is working. I was gonna say, I've been doing all this talking. I'm gonna be salty if my sound ain't working. So yeah, this is how much this guy thinks of you guys. And this, if it was really a pandemic and the world was gonna end, why would he be so pressed to sell this shit? Why not give it away? These people don't care about you. They pretend to. And you buy it because it helps you sleep well at night because you're not about to rush these people's mansions and do a damn thing about it. So if that's what y'all got to tell yourselves, so that way y'all don't, I'm not either right now. Let's say I'll put that right now on there. I'm not either right now. I got a lot going on. Man, it's not my, I'm doing my part right here on this podcast. You feel me? And spreading this knowledge, that's step one, is to create awareness of what's actually going on and get more people tapped out of the matrix. But again, you guys have to decide to take the red pill or the blue pill, and you have to want to choose to come out of the matrix. I can't force this on anybody. Some people are going to get it, some people aren't. The ones who don't, that's on them. That's completely on them. You can disagree, but it doesn't change the facts of the matter. You cannot think this guy's planting stories, but it's obvious he is, to the point where he gets to rewrite episodes of SVU, pretty much some of you guys' favorite TV show. He's literally rewriting episodes of SVU to, brainwash you guys with his narratives about COVID-19. Ooh, I said that whole thing. Hot Sauce 19. I can expect this video to be cut off and taken down. Damn, man, I just got off restriction, man. They're gonna block my ass again, man. Damn. And again, this guy is not a doctor. Bill Gates, no medical license, has all the legal rights to develop jibby jabs and force it on humans by making a fake PR campaign claiming it's going to help humanity fight diseases just to make billions of dollars. And again, they just released the data that they've been collecting on these jibby jabs, and there have been a lot of people suffering from adverse reactions, and they're actually starting to get paid all around the globe. You can go ahead and look that up. I'm going to redrop that podcast and see if it'll let me put that out if I talk all in code, and even down to the point where I'm not even going to make the title anything to do with that, because I got to really start tricking these people. And we have Bill Gates here versus Dr. Sebi, self-taught holistic healer who healed people naturally with herbs, fasting, and adapting to an alkaline diet, was claimed illegal and was arrested, even though he had 11 people as evidence in court. He was arrested. He wasn't convicted. He beat that case and won that case. So, he cured AIDS and cancer and all of that holistically, naturally, with herbs, fasting, and medicine. This guy ain't cured shit. Bill Gates. So anybody who's hating on Dr. Sebi, but you're rooting for Bill Gates, you're the fucking quack. I said it. You feel me? And I don't care how you feel about it. So, and then at the bottom, I put the irony. The irony. This shit's funny. Dr. CB, eat healthier to stop inflammation. People, he's no real doctor. Bill Gates, take this vaccine and keep killing yourself eating bad food. People, okay. The irony. You feel me? Because this is what's really going on. You remember how many fat people was out here, probably all in your face, trying to tell you, where's your mask at? You don't got a mask, you can't come in here. Like, man, you are overweight. You're killing yourself. You're the one I'm worried about. You probably got the vaccine. I mean, you probably got the hot sauce 19 because you're so out of shape and unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? If a person who's in good health contacts it, we're gonna kill it and kick it right out of our system. 2.2 seconds. You feel me? Again, like I say, the irony of this whole situation. Let's see how many more slides I got on here. I think that's the last one. Yeah, that's it. That's the end of the little presentation. I didn't read this last page, I don't think, all the way to the bank. Let me make sure I finish this one. Ooh, yeah, I'm still all the way back here. Okay, let me see what it's saying. Okay, let me read this to y'all. Gates, who amassed his fortune by building a monopoly of zealously guarding his intellectual property, bears significant blame for the failure of the Hot Sauce 19 Jibby Jab rollout across the world. Quite aside from the COVAX fiasco, he pressured Oxford University not to make its publicly funded Jibby Jab open source and available to all for free, but instead to partner with the private corporation AstraZeneca, a decision that meant that those who could not pay were blocked from using it. That Gates has made over 100 donations to the university, totaling hundreds of millions of dollars. Likely plays some role in that decision. So yeah, he called them like, "Hey, y'all ain't giving nothing away," and he's already been donating millions of dollars to them. They did what the heck he said. To this day, fewer than 5% of people in low-income countries have received even one dose of the hot sauce 19 Jibby Jab. The death toll from this is immense. I don't necessarily think that that's true, but I digress. I'm going to say that for another podcast. Unable to secure a profit in immunizing poorer nations, Western multinationals, including Oxford's private partner AstraZeneca, have prioritized those who can pay the most. So forget the people in the third world countries, even if you actually believe in this vaccine. And I'm glad that they can't get it, actually, but it's just sad, man. Again, this shit's just sad. You know, shit's sad as fuck. Unfortunately, many of these real criticism of Gates and his network are obscured by wild and untrue conspiracy theories about such things as inserting microchips into vaccines to control the population. That was a little conspiracy, but they actually do have a microchip that is inserted through a shot that he was funding the research on, and that wasn't a conspiracy. So they were taking a little bit of the truth, and it was getting exaggerated and getting out of hand. But they do have a microchip implant that he's funding. So you can actually look that shit up. This has meant that genuine critics of the Microsoft co-founder are often demonetized and algorithmically suppressed, which this video probably will be as well, meaning that outlets are strongly dissuaded from covering the topic, knowing they will likely lose money if they do so. The what, I don't even know how to pronounce that word. The paucity and of scrutiny of the world's second richest individual in turn feeds into outlandish suspicions. So anytime that you try to scrutinize him, like they try to make it seem like you're outlandishly suspicious when you should be suspicious of this guy. I'm about to start going around wearing sweater vests and button ups if that's what it takes to get some respect around here. You feel me? Hold on one second. Okay, I thought I heard somebody at my door. I was about to say, get the strap. Get the strap. Somebody at my door. No, ain't nobody at my door. Okay, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Where was I at? Was I even on this page? How did I get lost like that? Okay, yeah. Feeds into outlandish suspicions. Gates certainly deserves it, quite apart from his deep and potentially decades-long ties to the infamous Jeffrey Epstein, his attempts to radically change African society, and his investment in controversial chemical giant Monsanto's. He is perhaps the key driver behind the American charter school movement, an attempt to essentially privatize the U.S. education system. Charter schools are deeply unpopular with teachers unions, which see the movement as an attempt to lessen their autonomy autonomy and reduce public oversight into how and what children are taught. So again, this guy has his hands on changing the world, literally, and he's trying to do it subtly. But he's already made the mistake of putting himself in the public eye. Um, you should have fell back, Bill. You should have fell back. You should let your wife run it, or you should have hidden it behind veils of different corporations and different names. Because now the jig is up, bro, and we're on your heels. Like, we're not about to let you slide. Anything you do, we watching. I'm on you. My peoples is on you. We all on you. You know what I'm saying? And you are trying to mess everybody out here up, and you end up waking everybody up. And you're not about to rock us back to sleep, fam. You know what I'm saying? It's not going down. You know what I'm saying? You are not rocking us back to sleep. You heard me? We not going. I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust a thing you say. Yo, Mr. Rogers, neighborhood looking ass. I don't trust nothing about you. You know what I'm saying? Anybody with this wholesome vibe gives me, the heebie jeebies now. You know what I'm saying? He already got serial killer vibes as it is. Just look at this guy. You know what I'm saying? Fucking creeper vibes. No wonder your wife left you. You were on the plane with fucking Jeffrey Epstein. You know what I'm saying? You're caught. She knows when you lying. She left your goofy ass. She straight up asked you, and you hit her with that the Woody Woodpecker laugh, and grabbed your ring finger. And she said, "Nigga, I'm leaving. I know where you lying." You feel me? Anyway, okay. Let me keep reading. I already read all of this. Boom. All the way to the bank. This is the last page of this, okay? In most coverage, Gates donations are broadly presented as altruistic gestures, yet may have pointed to the inherent flaws with this model. Nothing that allowing billionaires to decide what they do with their money allows them to set public agenda, giving them enormous power over society. Philanthropy can and is being used deliberately to divert attention away from different forms of economic exploitation that underpin global inequality today, says Lindsay McGoey. That's one heck of a last name. And they didn't put a D in Lindsay. It's just Lindsay. Like, that's ghetto to me. She probably not black. You know what I'm saying? That's just a complete assumption. Yeah, let me stop. You know what I'm saying? Because let me stop making assumptions about anything. Because what I end up doing is making myself look stupid, and you should never do that. So I'll retract all of those statements. Lindsay, just a McGooey. It just didn't have a black ring to it. But shit. Um, what's Luther Vandross? I ain't never met a Vandross. But he black. So it ain't no telling. Names, can get tricky. And actually, my parents gave me my name because they said that when I put my name on a job application, they didn't want the person reading it to be able to know whether I was black or white. So I want to shout out my mom and dad. You know what I'm saying? I guess they did me a service with that one. You feel me? So let me keep it moving though. Professor of sociology at the University of Essex, UK, and author of No Such Thing as a Free Gift, the Gates Foundation, and the Price of Philanthropy. Dang, she wrote a whole book on these folks? Wow, I got to check this out. She wrote a book called No Such Thing as a Free Gift, the Gates Foundation, and the Price of Philanthropy. She adds the new philanthro capitalism threatens democracy by increasing the power of the corporate sectors at the expense of the public sector's organizations, which increasingly face budget squeezes, in part by excessively remunerating for profit organizations to deliver public services that could be delivered more cheaply without private sector involvement. Same exactly with Big Pharma. We're paying thousands of dollars for insulin when the shit's being sold in Canada for dirt cheap, and they won't even let you order it from over there. And that's because Big Pharma in America has been privatized. Okay, so that's a perfect example, and I love how she put that shit. Like she hit that shit right on the head. Charity, as former British Prime Minister Clement Attlee noted, is a cold, gray, loveless thing. If a rich man wants to help the poor, he should pay his taxes gladly, not dole out money at a whim. I mean, I do a lot of community stuff too. But that's just shout out to the people who put me on to this consciousness and this knowledge. They said that when you get this knowledge, you also have to you got to do for your community. That's paying your dues. You know what I'm saying? Boots on the ground, like my man. Shout out Jamar Milton. My man Jamar Milton used to say. He used to really be active in the community. He made me want to put my boots on the ground, and I started doing my community events. You feel me? Um, so yeah, man, and each one teach one, and we got to keep it going. We got to keep it moving. We're supposed to be the examples that we want to see in the community. You know, it starts at home. It starts with you. If you want change in the world, change starts with you. You got to be the change first. You got to be the example. You got to be the beacon of light of others to show that, living this righteous path and walking this path, you can grow. And if you're successful at it, people will flock to you. If you're getting results, if not, why would people follow you? It's a show me game. If you ain't got nothing to show these people, you feel me? Why would they listen to you? It's a bum on every corner with some game. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. I mean, this is the end of it though. Um, None of this means that the organizations receiving Gates money, media or otherwise, are irredeemably corrupt, nor that the Gates Foundation does not do any good in the world. But it does introduce a glaring conflict of interest whereby the various institutions we rely on to hold accountable one of the richest and most powerful men in the planet's history are quietly being funded by him. This is conflict of interest. Wait, no. This conflict of interest is one that corporate media have largely tried to ignore, while the supposedly altruistic philanthropist Gates just keeps getting richer, laughing all the way to the bank. Um, and shout out them for putting this out, man. Mint Press right here. After completing his PhD in 2017, he published 2 books. The writer of this article. Venezuela, 20 years of fake news and misreporting, propaganda in the information age, still malfunctioning, because still manufacturing consent. That's exactly what they be doing. A number of academic. Okay, so yeah. Shout out Alan MacLeod for putting this article together and getting all that data on where that money went to. He's a beast for that one. You know. Yeah. You know. It is what it is. This man is not a doctor. This man is not a doctor. Call Doctor Strange before you call this guy. You heard me? You feel me? I will call Doctor. I will call Dr. Seuss before I call this guy. Okay? I will call Dr. Dre before I hit him up. No cap. You, I'm not lying to you. You feel me? I'm not lying to you. Get Doogie Howser on the phone, man. Where's the one doctor with the with the what's the one shit? He autistic. I forgot that show, man. Get him on the line, man. Get the good doctor on the phone. Tell him I'm coming to see him. I'm not messing with this guy. And then look at him with little black babies administering medicine. What are you doing? Why are you trying to change Africa? And this whole global agenda, he's got a global agenda. You got to remember, it's not just America. And this guy was just some little guy, small town in Seattle, a nobody. And now look at him. And he's got that sweater vest with the button up and the blazer. And we just eat the shit up. I mean, we should be scrutinizing his every move. Where's Batman at when you need him? Because I'm sure he would beat and broke all of his security's arms and took this guy down a long time ago. If Batman was real, where's Batman at, man? we, we need somebody right now, man. We need Captain Planet. We need Batman. Man, we need some help out here, y'all. Because, it's just me and this podcast. I'm not going to be able to get it done by myself, man. We got to band together. If we plan to stop the evils that is facing this world right now. It's a lot going on, and this is despicable and disgusting. Disgusting. You don't see him doing this to no. I ain't even gonna say that. But he does have a black baby here. I'm not gonna say what he does with white babies. I'm not sure if there are pictures of him doing the same thing with Caucasian children. I just have yet to see them. But if there is one, drop it in my inbox or something, and I'll make sure to bring it up on the next podcast. But here you have him, messing with, my peoples, and I don't like that. And I'm gonna be scrutinizing you heavy. I don't care if they toss me down in the algorithms and keep banning me and reporting me. And please share this video so that way everybody can get this information. I'm gonna go ahead and play this video again of him lying about Jeffrey Epstein. This is why I brought this whole shit up, because the whole Jeffrey Epstein, Glassstein Maxwell, her whole case just getting dropped last week. R. Kelly got 30. You know what I'm saying? The whole child trafficking. Like, this is really what all this was about. But I just went in on that article to show you how he controls the media. So this is, you never see bad press about this guy. And you know why now.
It was reported at that time that you had a number of meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, who, when you met him 10 years ago, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution from minors. What did you know about him when you were meeting with him, as you've said yourself, in the hopes of raising money?
I had dinners with him. I regret doing that. He had
Grab that ring finger.
relationships with people he said, would give to global health, which is a interest I have.
Why you do that
Not
when you work
nearly
right?
enough philanthropy goes in that direction. Those meetings were a mistake. They didn't result in what he purported, and I cut them off. That goes back a long.
What did he purport? And that's another one of my questions. What did Jeffrey Epstein purport that those meetings turned out in? And you're saying you cut them off. Why did you cut them off prior to you having even found out about what was going on? You're saying, and I cut those meetings off, and as if like you were like, what did he do? And I'm sorry that I can't play his wife's video. I didn't download the full video. Be expecting more from me on Bill Gates. I got like 3 other podcasts already done with the slides and the receipts already ready for y'all. I'm gonna make sure I bring this video up and the video of his wife, because his wife is the nail in the coffin. The shit that his wife says about him and Jeffrey Epstein, she's real ominous and she's real vague, but she lets you know, hey, there's something going on. And this was one of the major reasons that I left this man. It played a major role in my decision. And it wasn't the reason why I left him, but just that with everything else was enough for me to say, this isn't a place that I need to be. This isn't a healthy place for me, and I need to leave. This is what his wife is saying in an interview with Gail, the motherfucker who took R. Kelly down. So, I don't think they're going to come for Bill, but, tea's being fucking spilled around this motherfucker. Let's just say that. You feel me? Tea is definitely being spilled around this motherfucker. So, yeah, where was I at? I'm over here about to roll up one, put one in the air. I guess I'm pulling a 48-hour shift today. I'm about to be up for 2 days on this one, man. I'm capping. I'm about to take a nap in a little bit. I switched my shift to this 3rd shift shit, man. So I'll be up all night and I'll be, sleeping during the day, catching my Z's. You know, and this is sad though. And how are we gonna stop child trafficking globally? Or is that just not something I should worry about? Should I just go worry about making my rent money for the day? And that's how that's what the elite want us doing. They want us stuck in this matrix capitalist system focus. They keep us living, check to check. Unless you're an entrepreneur or created your own business, you know what I'm saying? 90% of America don't got $1,000 in the bank. I ain't gonna say 90%. I really think the number is like 80%. 80% of the Americans don't have $1,000 in the bank. If you have $1,000 in the bank, like you are part of like the top 20% right now. You feel me? So I'm part of the top 20%. Are you part of the top 20%? Money go through people's hands like water. I don't know. I save money. It's because I've been broke for so long. When I finally got some money, like I was already used to not having shit. So I'm like, I'm about to not spend this. So one thing I'm good at is saving money. I'll put it up and continue to act broke and sacrifice and live like I don't have nothing. I'll get $1 million today and save that shit for real. You feel me? Motherfucker, I never know. Wouldn't even know. I'll still be eating the same shit, fruits and vegetables. I'll still be driving the same hoopty, and I'm converting my fiat into assets that, you know what I'm saying, turn a profit. It's not good idea to leave your assets just sitting in the dollar right now, especially with the way inflation is. You're losing money sitting in a bank, because the interest rate isn't higher than the inflation rate. So if you sit 100,000 in the bank, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna lose money at the end of the year. And this is literally a fact. You're better off sending your money into a stock or some silver and gold. You feel me? I'm not gonna get too much into that. That's a whole nother podcast, which I haven't done any financial podcasts. I'm gonna do some of those coming soon. I really just been on politics, religion, and health. That's mostly what my topics have been about as of recently. So, but yeah, be on the lookout for that. This is a character you guys need to watch. I got to get up out of here. I got some money to get to. I love everybody who tapped in today. I appreciate y'all. You already know how my saying goes. Love yourself, love the skin you in. Nobody can be you better than you. If you're trying to be somebody else, who's gonna be you? You know what I'm saying? It's only one you. So continue to do that. With that being said, peace and love. Love y'all. I'm out. I'm out of here. Where my mouse at? I done lost the mouse. I'll lose my mouse. Okay, I guess I'm not out of here then, because I can't find my mouse. I'll lose my mouse. I ain't even get up. I got the headphones on. This shit crazy. Oh, okay, I'm slow. This shit right next to me. Don't laugh at me, y'all. Don't laugh at me. I'm gonna go ahead and play this song on the way out.
With
Man. Where the song go? Share. Video file. I'm gonna play my intro song on the way out. Love y'all. Have a beautiful day, y'all.
Yeah. Don't be stressing on the dumb shit, 'cause God is gonna make a way. Just keep going and keep your faith, so you can win this race. This race called life, yeah, yeah. This race called life. This race called life, yeah, yeah. Race called life. Yeah, 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 yeah. Grinding 'cause I know that I'm gonna get it. I just gotta have vision. Keep faith and be humble. They have some patience with it. I've been there once since day one, and always on my job. I never been a fake, never had to steal and rob, cause I do good business. I'm too good with it, and even though I'm on this road, I'm still daddy to my children. You know I do good with them, and don't like being missing, but I hate when my bills are thicker and my pockets get thinner. But I can't stress upon the dumb shit, cause God is gonna make a way. I keep going and keep my faith and my pace, so I can win this race called life. This race called life. I'm just trying to win this race called life. This race called life. Just trying to win this race called life. Yeah. Race called life. I'm just trying to win this race called life. Yeah. I keep on running in this race called life. I won't come in last place in life. No. 'Cause I'm just trying to win this race called life. This race called life. Girl, I just gotta